Hello everyone, welcome to History and Civics class of class 7th. We were doing lesson number 12, Making of Composite Culture. Topics discussed in previous video. Introduction, Composite Culture, the Bhakti movement, Bhakti saints and their teachings. Terms to be discussed in today's video. Asceticism, the practice of severe self-discipline. Mysticism, the spiritual apprehension of knowledge, is inaccessible to the intellect. Materialism, a tendency to consider material possession and physical comfort more important than spiritual values. Silsila, order, sheikh, teaching master, Khanga, the center of social life. Devoid of, completely lacking of free from, egalitarian, principles that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities, confluence, the junction of two rivers, warp, the threads on a loom over and under in weaving, weft, the crosswise thread in weaving. Topics to be discussed in today's video: the Sufi movement, teachings of Sufi saints, impact of Bhakti and Sufi movements on society. Let's start with the introduction. The Sufi movement, the glorious and rich cultural heritage of the Mughals on one hand and the Indians on the other hand, created a unique atmosphere for composite culture. Sufism was a reform movement of Islam, which actually started in Persia and later on penetrated into India. Some of its principles are as follows: God is one and all powerful, and all men are his creation, his children. If anyone wants to get the love and blessings of God, he should try to love mankind. True faith depends upon right living. Only good actions lead to good results. So one should try to do good acts rather than run after rituals and useless religious ceremonies. Let's start with the reading. The Sufi movement. A group of religious minded people called Sufis turned to asceticism and mysticism in the early centuries of Islam. Here, the word asceticism means tapasvi, or the practice of severe self discipline, and mysticism means spiritual belief based on communication with God. They protested against the increased materialism of the caliphate as a religious and political institution. The Sufis laid emphasis on seeking salvation through intense devotion and love for God. We have discussed this paragraph beforehand as introduction. The Sufis were organized into several silsilas, means religious orders. Most Sufi silsilas were named after the founding figure. Example, the Qadri silsila was named after Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. On the other hand, the Chishti silsila was named after its place of origin, the town of Chist in central Afghanistan. Some other silsilas were as follows. Number 1, the Suhrawadi silsila, founded by Sheikh Shahib Uddin Suhrawadi. His disciple Sheikh Bahauddin Zakaria Suhrawadi was the founder of Suhrawadi silsila in India. Number 2, the Naqshbandi silsila. It was founded in India by the followers of Khwaja Pir Muhammad. Here we shall discuss about the Chishti silsila in detail. The Chishti silsila was founded by Khwaja Abdul Chishti in Herat. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti Ajmer brought it to India. He is popularly known as Garib Nawaz, comforter of the poor. The Chishti silsila was founded by Khwaja Abdul Chishti in Herat. Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti brought it to India. He was known as Garib Nawaz by the Muslims of Indian subcontinent. He was a preacher, religious scholar, and philosopher. This particular order became the dominant Muslim spiritual group in medieval India. The tomb or dargah of Muinuddin Chishti became a deeply religious site after the preacher's death in March 1236. In the present day, The tomb of Muinuddin Chishti continues to be the one of the most popular religious sites for tourists in the Indian subcontinent. Other Chishti saints were Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki of Delhi. Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki was a Muslim Sufi mystic saint and scholar of the Chishti order from Delhi, India. He was the disciple and the spiritual successor of Muinuddin Chishti. His dargah, located adjacent to Zafar Mahal in Mehruli, and it is the oldest dargah in Delhi. Qutub Minar is built by Qutbuddin Aibak in the memory of his guru Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Kaki. Sheikh Fariduddin Ganje Shakar, Azodhan, Pakistan. Sheikh Fariduddin Ganje Shakar was a 12th century Punjabi Muslim preacher and mystic saint who went on to become one of the most distinguished Muslim mystics of the medieval period. He is also known as Baba Farid. He made Punjabi poetries, and his Punjabi poetries were added later when Adi Granth Sahib, Sikh scripture, was compiled by the fifth Guru of the Sikhs, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Sheikh Nizamuddin Aulia, Delhi, who was also known as Mehboob-e Ilahi, the beloved of God. Sheikh Nizamuddin Aulia, known as Hazrat Nizamuddin and Mehboob-e Ilahi. He was a Muslim scholar, Sufi saint of the Chishti order, and is one of the most famous Sufis from the Indian subcontinent. His shrine, the Nizamuddin Dargah, is located in Delhi. Next, Sheikh Nasiruddin Chirage Delhi. Sheikh Nasiruddin Chirage Delhi was a 14th century mystic poet and a Sufi saint of the Chishti order. He was a disciple of Sufi saint Nizamuddin Aulia and later his successor. He was the last important Sufi of the Chishti order from Delhi. Teachings of the Sufi saints. Number 1. The Sufis believed in one God. All men are his children. Number 2. They preached that there could be many ways of reaching God. Thus, they showed tolerance towards the other religions. Number 3. They emphasized love and devotion to God. Number 4. They taught people to be kind towards fellow beings. Number 5. They often rejected the elaborated rituals and codes of behavior demanded by Muslim religious scholars. Number 6. The Sufi saints composed poems and prose to express their feelings. Number 7. They also believed that the heart can be trained to look at world in different ways. So they developed a number of methods of training. For example, zikr the divine names, contemplations, sama, audience. These methods were performed under the guidance of master or peer. Here the word contemplation means concentration on spiritual things as a form of private devotion. Number 8. The Sufi saints held their assemblies in their kangas or hospices. Kangas means the center of social life. Devotees of all castes and creeds, rich and poor, assembled in these kangas. They discussed spiritual matters and sought the blessings of the saints in solving their worldly problems. People believed that these Sufi saints had miraculous means supernatural powers that could relieve others of their illness and troubles. The tomb or dargah of Sufi saints became a place of ziyarat means pilgrimage. Here the word pilgrimage means a journey due to religious reason. Now let us understand the teaching of Sufism in a very simple way. They believed in monotheism. Monotheism means only one God. They believed that only one God is there and we are calling him with different names like Allah, Khuda, Rab. They believed that all men are equal in the eye of God and respect should be given to all the religions. Try to be a good Hindu or a good Muslim and live a pure life. They taught people to be kind towards the fellow beings. Come closer to God through devotional music like Kavalis, Shabad, Bhajan. etc. The Sufi saints held their assemblies in their kangas. Means kanga is a place where they can discuss spiritual matters and sought the blessings of the saints in solving their worldly problems. The tomb or dargah of Sufi saints became a place of ziyarat, means a place of pilgrimage, a journey due to religious reason. Impact of Bhakti and Sufi movements on society. The Bhakti and Sufi movements were completely free from religious rituals. These movements taught universal brotherhood and mutual tolerance. Devotees of the Bhakti movement acknowledged and accommodated women and the lower castes. These movements condemned outright religious superstitions and social evils. The main aim of these movements was to establish an egalitarian society. The Bhakti and Sufi saints enriched music, poem, and prose to express their feelings. The Bhakti and Sufi movement contributed a lot to develop the composite culture. So, students, this is the end of the today's topic as well as of the lesson. I hope you understood the topic as well as the lesson and you are able to solve the exercises by yourself. Don't forget to learn the terms. I will come with the next videos. Thank you. Have a nice